So, what's been on my mind lately? Basically, it's like I feel like I mean, I feel like I should be on Grindr or on some of these sites that would help me to get my sexual needs met, and hopefully have the potential of ending up in a really high quality relationship. The worry that I have is the few couple of people I've met who have been a part of those sites no longer take sex seriously because they have it so easily that they don't invest the time to love the other person. It's more of an action to get a result that's temporary versus actually something sustainable that will give you more and more levels of intimacy and making love. So I'm probably going to just join a regular dating site and hope for the best. The problem is a lot of the more attractive guys who are gay tend to be on those sort of sites and consider it completely normal. Especially when you get into like the 18, 19-year-old range, 20-year-olds, it's just like completely normal to get on Grindr. And many of them interpret sexuality as what they see in porn. And the hard thing is that bisexual guys and girls a lot of times have more dating experience than gay men because they start dating younger, they have that relationship background, they have the loyalty and the fidelity, and they have this core that I hold. And I just hope that like that I can find an attractive guy who wants a relationship instead of just wanting to have an individual isolated experience. Now, the fact that I have a six pack and work out a ton and I'm a nice guy, I feel like I'll have a good chance at like probably finding somebody attractive, and it might just be more of a cat and mouse type thing. Maybe the people, like the way I looked at it, I was like, hey, if I go on one of these sites, I can just have sex with quite a few people, find out who's the best in bed, that I enjoyed the experience the most, maybe give people one or two times each. And then after I find all the people in the area, narrow in on the one I really like, or whatnot, and invest in that person. Because the way I look at relationships are like it's in an inverted order, in a sense, because I hooked up with one guy and we ended up dating for 7 months. So I moved in the next day. So it's not like it can't happen. And the thing is that the only real reason why anyone, in my view, would be in a relationship, the primary reason, well, of course, there's the companionship, the friendship, but it's the sexuality. That's what defines the difference between a friendship and a relationship, is the sexual component. So I want to find somebody who I can like sexually explore with, and that I can move into um, levels of development even further than where I'm at. I've covered all the basics. I've covered intermediacy. I'm getting close to expert level, but there's still like a master level of sexuality that comes, that's even higher. And of course, everyone needs to learn and start somewhere. But I want to get into developing a very strong comfortability with topping. Lately, I've been a top in most of my experiences. I became a really good bottom for the first part of being gay, and now I've just enjoyed topping way more. So I feel like I'm versatile, and I'm looking for somebody who's versatile, but I'm fine dating or being in relationships, or even more preferable to have isolated experiences with people who are tops or bottoms, because um, it just makes my life a lot easier. Now, moving on to the next component of my view on intimacy, that spiritual component um, needs to be there. But if the sex isn't good, or the person's really not proficient, or they don't want to learn, basically, if somebody can't give me a good massage, it's like it's hard to feel like I can feel connected to that person and feel like they really love me. And the biggest thing is with men is like, or anyone, women or men that you date, you need to be able to say I love you. And if you can't honestly say that to a person, and if you say that to the person and they can't give it back, try for a while. But if you don't get that answer, if you don't get that confirmation that they love you back, it's probably much better for you to move on and find another person if you're looking for a relationship, because that person is looking to get off rather than to invest. And that's the main difference that I've seen in a lot of men. And fortunately, most human beings, as far as I can tell, deep down want to have a quality relationship. So it's like, even though they hook up or whatever, they have experiences, and they might even say they don't believe in love, or they don't believe in a lot, they're atheist or whatever. Deep down, people, most of them want to have a sort of a connection with another human being, or more than one, that is deep and meaningful and reliable and steady, and that's something that they can rely on. So I'm that person, and I want to find somebody like me. And it could be anywhere. It could be anywhere in the world. I mean, if you're watching this video and you say, okay, this is a guy who wants to have a husband, and he has a high libido, and that's the main difference between me and many men. It's like, I don't want to have sex for a little while through the honeymoon phase and then have it peter off. I'm the type of guy who has a high libido and wants to do it a lot and for many years to come. And so that's what I prefer. Now, I could just as easily have a wife, hypothetically, although I've never had any sort of sexual experience with a woman. I don't rule out that option either. But I did date a woman for a year, and we kissed and stuff. And my first semester, when I moved out of my parents' house, and she was really great. And she had a really high libido too. So it's like, honestly, I feel like it's a struggle for people who are really horny, because if they're horny and they want monogamy, it's harder. Especially if they're married or they have intimacy with somebody who has a lower libido. And it's not wrong or right. It's just like, if you have a high libido, date people with a high libido, and you're gonna be more likely to be able to maintain monogamy if that's your goal. So currently, it seems like I'm in a situation where a lot of the dating site I've been using is just not really revealed as many attractive options. So it's like, if a guy can take off his shirt and his face and his body can wow me, then I would be much more apt to date them. If a girl looks like a model, yeah, I could date her too. And so currently I'm going to put up some profiles online and just hope for the best, because I don't want to catch an STI. I have no STIs, which is awesome. And so really happy I have my paperwork and everything, and I get tested all the time. And so I want to share my love with people, and I hope that somebody out there will be able to love me as deeply as the love that I put forth. And I hope you guys all find loving, meaningful relationships, and hopefully these tips are meaningful for you, and have a wonderful day.